Hello.
Hey, so we went and saw War? There's too many. War of the Planet of the Apes?
War for the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that one.
So I guess this is another Thursday night premiere, kind of.
It's not Thursday.
What day is it?
Tuesday.
Tuesday night!
As usual, given the first two films, it was visually stunning.
So good.
Like...
Oscars.
Yeah. Oscar-worthy!
You.
Someone give these movies awards. I don't want to, say anything, because I don't want to spoil anything, but,
It's been out for almost a week, but...
It's visually stunning, and, within the first 10 minutes, it, had me in tears.
It's very... I was thinking this about halfway through the movie, because there are... I compare everything to Mad Max Fury Road, because it's an incredible movie, but, similarly, it has this kind of go-ness to it, but there are... I guess the pacing is good, is what I'm trying to say. They
really
give
good
you
pacing.
Breaks to, kind of catch your breath and do some, oh, look, the characters are having development, and they're talking about important plot things, and then suddenly it's oh my god, an alarm is going off, what's happening? It's good pacing, and it keeps you invested. Even, there's a scene where, Woody Harrelson's character... I almost said Woody Allen. Woody Allen's not in this fucking movie. Woody Harrelson's character is kind of going on an expository monologue for a minute and a half. It's not that long, but in movie time, a minute and a half is quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel overly long. I think that's the longest time where people just talk, but there's really, really important plot and character stuff happening in that scene as well. So...
It's it's a really good monologue. It's really good dialogue.
It's very indicative of his character.
Oh, yeah. But, it made me angry.
He's terrible. He's awful.
I felt lots of rage during this movie. Lots of,
righteous fury.
Righteous fury throughout this movie.
And I was thinking, his particular brand of villainy for the end of a trilogy is, perfect.
Oh, yeah.
He's a perfect foil for Caesar's conflict in this movie. And, I think probably a lot of other people thought this was going to be a straight-up action movie, kind of similar to Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, in a way. That was a lot more action-oriented and very much, there was the conflict between Caesar and Koba, and that was, the crux of the movie. It wasn't apes versus humans, necessarily.
Yeah, that was wasn't...
But it wasn't the central conflict going on with the main characters. And this one is very much a personal vendetta story set against the backdrop of a war for the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
And I think that's very fitting, seeing as, it's been Caesar's story from the get-go.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember his name, even though I've seen the movie several times. James Franco,
What the hell was his name?
I don't know.
We recently watched the first two as well.
I don't know why I want to say, Matt or something, and I'm sure that's not it.
It was something basic, but I don't remember what it was.
Anyway, he fucks up trying to save his dad, and Caesar happens, and he can talk and stuff, and that's still, God, that moment in the first movie...
Take your stinking paw off me, you damn dirty ape!
We were in the theater, we had no idea what to expect. That moment when he screams no, I still get chills every time. These movies are so good. Anyway, there's a similar moment to that, but it's not as shouty in this movie. Anyway, but it's been Caesar's story from the beginning, despite James Franco kind of being the main character of the first one.
Yeah.
Because what he does creates the Planet of the Apes. Oops.
Oops!
I mean, it's him and the company, but whatever. So it's been Caesar's story, so it feels right to have this last movie be very, very focused on him. Mm-hmm. And his conflict and his character development and how stuck he feels.
Yeah, you can really feel just how tired and...
Old
and weary he is.
In the beginning of the movie, they have this great opening text thing, which was really visually cool. They do a really cool trick, kind of... they reference the titles of the previous movies, and it's really cool. But they say, it's been 15 years since all that happened in the first one, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. 15 years, and it's only been 5 years since the first movie was made to this one.
Yeah.
So that's a long time, particularly since I know apes, like, particularly... Is he a chimp? Help me.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, he's a chimp. I think Rocket's a bonobo, I think.
Yeah.
Because the ones who have, like, the really, really, really short fine fur, I think, are bonobos. But then the ones who have the more woolly fur are chimps.
I think you're right.
There's another one that's even more vicious than the chimp, but I don't remember what the hell they're called. I'm sure there are some of those in there, too.
I don't know. Anyway, I know chimps live a long time, like, their life expectancy is...
Isn't it, like,
above
40
average?
something and up?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, but, you know, didn't they say in the first one because he had been exposed to the drug that they were...
Well, yeah, he had some, like, regenerative cell stuff.
Yeah, so he aged faster than he should have, I think he says.
Well, they're his mental processes.
Yeah, he develops faster.
Yeah, like, by the time he was several months old, he was, like, the equivalent of a 2-year-old child.
Yeah, like, he was learning sign language already.
Yeah.
And also, I gotta throw out there, because sign language... I said this, like, in the car right after we left the movie. It's almost a crime how good these movies are at visual storytelling. Because a majority of your cast, particularly in this movie, because it's very... I almost feel like more than the previous movie, is very, very focused on the apes and their struggle and what they're doing. So most of your cast cannot speak like Caesar can. They speak through sign language, through facial expression, and through grunting sounds. And... I imagine in a lesser director or lesser team's hands, that would not work. But for this team, it comes across almost criminally well. It's really, really good and really well done. You really see all the emotion in their faces, even in their cries. Like, God, there's one scene where Caesar's son is just screaming, and I was like, ouch. Oh my god, there's a baby crying. Like, it's really
emotional.
You really feel for them, because I attribute this a lot to the motion capture, of course, because the actors are actually there in the frame, but god, they feel real. They take up space, and you feel it, like, when explosions or gunshots happen in this. Like, I jumped.
When there's a hit, you feel it.
And when someone dies, it's like, oh my god. You really feel it. It's very heavy and very emotional.
The movie is really heavy.
Very heavy.
And, like... I hesitate to say on the nose, because it doesn't feel on the nose. But it's like, it's really...
In a way
in a way it is, but it's not, like, obnoxiously so.
Yeah.
Like not... It's really socially relevant for the time period we're in right now.
We don't want to spoil everything. But, I'm gonna go on a mini... highbrow rant here for a second. There is a certain imagery associated with collectively traumatic events. If you're going to appropriate this imagery in your movie, particularly in a big budget movie that a lot of people are going to see, you damn well better have something to say with it. Not just appropriate it to make, to be like, oh look, I can reference this thing. Point being, this movie does appropriate some collectively traumatic imagery. The minute we realized where the story was going, I got a little nervous.
Yeah, a little bit. But I think it handled it well.
I think it did too. I think it wasn't so over the top that you're like, it's not like it's beating you over the head with it and saying like, hey, this was a historical thing that happened and we know how to reference it. It tied in thematically.
Yeah, no, it tied in thematically, and it worked on an emotional level. Like, it really did. It definitely sort of drew on the emotions of, provoking images of, like, persecution of peoples.
Many minorities.
In particular, the two biggest that really come to mind are the Jews and the blacks.
I don't want to go right out and say there's Holocaust imagery, but there is imagery that's evocative.
Yeah, there's enough there that my mind went to, oh shit, It's definitely, it makes you think of that, and it's painfully applicable for today's day and age.
And there's particularly one phrase in particular, that, if you pay any attention at all to the news, you will pick out right away, and I think I even gave, like, a kind of humorless chuckle when I heard it, because I was like, oh my god. The bad guy's doing that. Okay. Are you fucking kidding me? Not in like a, I don't think the director should have done that way, but that I was like, wow, that's in a Planet of the Apes movie.
Yeah, like are we calling out
sci-fi movie?
Are we calling out some shit here?
Yeah. I don't mean goofy in a bad way.
No.
It's really good.
It is really good. I highly suggest you go and see it. So yeah, really good.
It's so
go
good.
And see it.
If you even remotely like this trilogy, you're gonna really, really like this last one. And I hope it's the last one.
Best of the 3. It has to be the last one. Andy Serkis isn't gonna be in it anymore.
I know, this is Andy Serkis' last one.
You can bet your ass I'm not gonna go see anymore.
No.
If they make any more, I'm just like, nope. Doesn't have him in it.
I feel like the director doesn't want to do any more either, considering the tagline for this movie was "Witness the End."
Yeah, so I'm like,
I think he's very much done, and I don't know if anyone can follow this. Otherwise, it's just going to be a straight-up remake of the first Planet of the Apes movie, which they tried, and it sucked. So bad. Stop. Just let it be its own trilogy and stop. Some things have to stop eventually. I was thinking that as we came out of the theater. I was like, look, Harry Potter ended eventually, and then I was like, no, wait. They're fucking doing Fantastic Beasts.
It's not over.
It's not over. Some things have to end, though. That's why we like them.
Otherwise, they stop being good.
Exactly. Look at Alien for a little while.
Oh.
Big tears. We don't talk about 3 or Resurrection.
No. Anyway, and I have to say it before we end the video.
Yes.
The apes will build the wall.
Go see War for the Planet of the Apes. It's awesome, and it deserves all the praise and money. It's wonderful.
It is.
Bye-bye.